we have a presentation here, but we're going to talk in general about AI, what AI really is, so people understand it, and they're not afraid of what AI can do for you, and understand how AI can help you in your business this year. Don't wait around, adapt it, and use it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, for the longest time, you know, one of the biggest hindrances to adopting AI has been the way that things have always been done, right? I mean, rightfully so, businesses for years and years have not been built to be an AI first or even a technology first necessarily organization. And so one of the biggest roadblocks that we see is just the way of thinking about business and really answering that question, like, okay, what is AI?
Right, and this is something that, if you think about it in the past, this is something we never had before in our life. This is a tool that you have to cherish and use. Just like back in the beginning when we started getting spell check, it didn't, you know, make the secretary obsolete. The virus was in the machine. So it's a tool that you have to adapt to and use every day. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about maybe more general about AI and what it really is, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people have the misconception it is the Terminator and I'll be back coming to you, right?
Yep.
That's not what it is. It can be if you don't treat it right.
Yep, has to have guardrails.
Yes, but I think in general it's going to be mostly positive for humanity adopting AI.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this is one of the dreaded parts of the presentation where one of the speakers decides the audience participation is a fun thing. I always, I love opening up conversations with AI just to break the ice. I asked, this was about 6 months ago as I was preparing for a presentation, I asked my then very pregnant wife, hey, could you please, dearest, define what is AI for me? And I got the beautiful quote that it's a super smart internet computer thing. So I want to establish a little bit of a baseline here as we go into the conversation. How many people would like to take a stab at defining what is AI? And any brave souls in the audience?
Anybody? Like Red Palmer, maybe.
We even brought the lights in for you guys. We got one right here.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence, and what is that?
Generates different things.
Okay. Generative.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Machine learning.
Machine learning. Critical subcomponent of AI, absolutely. Any other definitions?
Collective data.
Collective data. Takes over my thinking.
Oh wow.
There's the we will all be in a people zoo one day thinking.
Computer-generated intelligence.
Computer-generated intelligence. Beautiful. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I think in majority you're all correct there. This is what it is.
Yeah.
But you have to understand AI is modeled, the large language models, as we call them, are modeled after the brain. The way we are thinking ourselves. And it's very dumb in the beginning, like a child, like a baby, doesn't don't know what to do, and you have to teach it. And the only real reason why it's working nowadays is because we have such an amount of computing power around the world. Computers are not slow anymore, as you know. Computers are very fast. So back then, when I started with computers in the 1980s, we had Commodore VIC-20s and Commodore 64s. They couldn't do anything like this, nothing. But now you can actually do it, and the server farms can run data all day long. The compute form is very strong, and you're shoving a massive amount of data on this program to learn. So it learns what? Every day, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many people have pulled open ChatGPT in the last year? Right? Unless you're using a paid version or you have your organization has implemented a custom designed instance of OpenAI through their enterprise API system, every input that you use is training ChatGPT and OpenAI's LLM or large language model. As Jurgen was just saying, the intelligence, so to speak, of AI is exponentially related to processing power and availability of good quality data. Two key components of AI.
Yeah, because just like Mark said here, is AI. That concept has been around since the 1960s, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that idea that it's going to function like this, we just didn't have the computing power to do this, and now we do. And you have to understand, it's going much further than that in the future. So you probably already, who's using AI on the phone? Who's using Siri on the phone? Siri, right? Any kind of Google Assistant or whatever you want to call it. So you've been using AI for probably 10 years now. How long has iPhone been around? 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been using it, so it's nothing new to you. It's just improving. So you slowly start seeing it acting more natural, being able to talk to you in a more natural conversation. So I don't have to talk like a robot when I wanted to say, hey, turn off the lights now. You know, I talk like Terminator. You know, and it finally listens to me. Now it's a lot much softer and understands what you're talking about. But then we have something that's coming up soon, most likely, right? AGI.
Yep. So when you look at AI and its development, it's essentially broken into several different categories. And the simple AI or slow AI is essentially what's been used up to this point. And one of the key characteristics of a simple AI is it needs to be instructed, right? And the instruction sometimes is fairly unstructured, as is with large language models, right? In the development of AI, there came a critical point in between 2010 and 2013 that individuals stopped trying to train AI by giving it rules for certain things like speech, and started giving it massive amounts of blocks of speech and allowed it to learn independently just through consumption and processing that data and recognizing patterns. There is this, what used to be theoretical and is now argued among the AI leadership community, whether it is existence now, which is this general AI. And that is something which is able to learn as a human learns without any instruction, start to adapt to its situation independent of human instruction.
Right. And we've seen this already with AI and learning languages it never knew before.
Yeah.
It knows the pattern of a language, and all of a sudden, within a couple of maybe days of training, it starts talking that language. So it is quite amazing. But we're going to talk about more today about what AI can help you with business. Who is running a business here? Okay. Well, I certainly am, so smart. And so we have to use AI to, obviously, as a tool to generate income, right? Everything's changing around the world. A lot of people are afraid of AI taking over, taking all our jobs. But we have to think about it a certain way. Things always change, right? We have to adapt to things. Just because the horses aren't around anymore, we have cars, we still have horses, and we still have jobs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's two ways to think about business innovation, right? There are the things that will change, which that is the individuals who are afraid of AI coming in and taking away all jobs, right? That is the sentiment that they kind of look at it. But you do also have to look at, whether you're looking at business or maybe you're not an owner, maybe you're an employee looking to maximize productivity, maybe you're an individual looking to maximize productivity, there are also the converse to that, which is what things will never change within business. And then you have to take an AI or a technology-first approach to how can I adjust the things that I've always done a certain way while maintaining the critical pieces of business, the customer service, the process, the scalability, and utilize a tool like AI to accelerate those processes.
Yes. Nothing will ever replace you as a human being in the process. That will never happen. But you use AI as like a super smart parrot sitting on your shoulder, like Dr. Clouseau, and telling you what to do all day long. That will be the way you can think about it. As an assistant, that will help you. So AI can scale your business in a way you never had before. We're going to talk about it a little bit in the next slide. Enhanced decision making. So AI can actually help you make decisions on all your data that it can aggregate from all the different sources. Just imagine you're running a large business or even a small business and it's really complex. But you have all this data, all these PDFs and files from your credit card history, from your ordering history, from your payroll, and all that. You can put it together and you can ask a simple question if you have a model like this, saying, hey, am I profitable? What am I missing? And then you can go further in saying, okay, can you please do some research online and see why my business is failing, even though I'm doing everything correct, I think I'm doing correct. So I've done that many times, and it actually comes up with the correct answers. So predictive and enhancing decision making is very important every day. I use AI probably at least 15, 20 times a day. It's a constant companion of mine. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. For those of you who haven't picked it up yet, I really like AI. Shocker, I know. I use this all the time from an individual standpoint. Like, one of the things that I recognize as I'm going about my day and trying to make the best decisions for my organization, for my sales strategies, for the entire gambit of running a business unit, I recognize that there is some implicit human blindness that comes with everything, right? I am very biased towards my perspectives, my feelings, and so within my ChatGPT instance, I have built a Socratic agent, and its job is, when I draft a strategy document, when I draft an email summary, when I draft a business case that I'm presenting to a client, its job is to pick it apart. Its job is to find aspects of that document that I'm not thinking of and point it out to me so that I can make better data-driven decisions.
So, to translate in English, because you're very technical.
Sorry, guys.
Things,
Just yell at me.
in layman's terms, you can actually nowadays generate, or you can train your own AI person, if you want to call it, agent, on your computer. You can feed it all the data. Like, I've done the same thing myself. I have a technician named Bob, like Microsoft Bob, okay?
Employee of the month.
Exactly. He shows up on time every day. I never have to bother him. And I fed him all my company information, as in how to act, how the procedures, how to handle with customers, how to solve some problems. And it truly believes and looks and tells me it's working for me. And I can ask it questions, and it will come back to me just like I would ask one of my technicians. It's quite amazing. Yeah.
It's an incredible tool.
It really is. And you can even have voices, different voices to it. If you actually want to talk to it, you can make it sound like James Earl Jones if you want to. For the fun part. So next one, automation and repetitive tasks. That's, I think, where AI really shines.
Absolutely.
For me, it does. I get reports of, because I work in the IT industry, I get reports of PDF that's like 400 pages long. And I have to go through that manually and find out, okay, which machines of this big organization are out of warranty, which ones should be replaced. I can just upload that document into AI, like ChatGPT 4.0, and it will tell me within a second, hey, these are the 4 old Dell computers, and this guy has an old gateway, and I need to replace it now. Amazing, right?
No, it's incredible. It's incredible. And this is where this point in particular is one of the critical things for proponents of AI adoption within organizations and companies. This is the point that allows you to look at maximizing your human employees' potential. Because we've all been part of organizations and jobs that has really incredibly mundane tasks that are not maximizing why that organization brought you in as an employee, and it's this point enables you to really unleash your workers' potential.
Right. And that's actually one of the specialties that my partner does over here, the SilverLogic, is they design custom-made software applications. We call them apps nowadays. It's called programs in the old days. But allowing you to do things like that and automating your business tasks and making you have more time to spend time with your family. That's what the whole goal is, to make time. It's time we can't get back. That's really what the big thing is about.
Absolutely.
Improve customer experience. If you have something like an AI-driven chatbot, like a system on your website. And I'll give you an example that they have done. I was very impressed. One of the first things I found out about SilverLogic is what they've done is this system that acts like an HR person, correct?
Yep.
You want to talk about that a little? Because that's really impressive.
Yeah. So within our organization, right, there's this massive document called the Employee Handbook and Knowledge Repository. And everybody knows that if there's one thing which will put you to sleep, it's an HR employee handbook. That being said, it has lots of critical information that is really important for employees to have their hands on and have it ready. However, we didn't want them to be flipping through and scrolling through a massive document because we not only include HR information, but we include all of our organizational best practices. So if you are running an operations meeting, if you are dealing with a client escalation, if you are dealing with a sales process, if there is an unhappy social media post, how you would go about addressing that. We've put all the instructions in our company into this bot and put a natural language interface, which is you can type out to it just like you would a ChatGPT, and it will respond to you with the exact answer that you need without having you flip through mindless pages of text.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, this is something that is a real time saver for any company. And you can do it yourself too. This is, I mean, yes, you hire a larger company like SilverLogic, but you can experiment yourself and downloading ChatGPT, which is made by OpenAI, and training your own model and letting it learn what you want it to learn.
Yeah.
It's like almost like an infant. You give it something and it comes up with something new. So, amazing thing right there. Improved customer experience also is when you're going to see it more and more and more. Like, who here likes talking to your insurance company on the phone? I hate it. I absolutely can't stand it. So you get a robot on the phone that you have to tell it some number that you can hardly read on your little tiny insurance card, right? So you type it in, and it says it's the wrong number, and repeat it again, over and over. Finally, you get to a human being. But imagine this is all changing. And I always think like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the human being to pick up the phone that talks to me from wherever they're coming from, that has such a strong accent, worse than mine, okay? And we can't communicate. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm waiting for that person, it doesn't get any better. So, but imagine, you have an AI system that speaks perfect English, that understands what you want. You don't have to push 7, 8, 9, 5, whatever, and pound to get to somewhere. You can just tell it in natural language on your phone, hey, my insurance is expired, or it doesn't work, do something about it. And that's what AI can do for you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's a really cool story. One of the partners that we have at SilverLogic is a founder of the largest deaf-to-speech phone services. They are in the process of utilizing these newer natural language-enabled voice models of AI to better connect over vast distances and without the need for a constant translator who sits in the middle of that interaction to enable the communication just by speaking into a phone and allowing their program to take that spoken word and translate it through AI and the communication to their deaf customers. It's an incredible advancement.
The next thing, we're going to talk about boost in productivity. And I think we all need that once in a while. Many times that I want to, I come in my office in the morning, I need a little boost of productivity, and it doesn't come from my cup of coffee. Most of the time it comes from my beautiful wife, but it also comes from AI in the morning, because I can ask it for something. It's like, hey, give me an idea, what should I do today with this project, blah, blah, blah. And it will come up with some new idea. Or I need to do a posting, like if you're working in the advertising field. If you have, and you probably see it now on Facebook already integrated, that when you post something on your Facebook page, it will ask you if you want an AI generate this post. Because it might actually have a better way of saying this than you can. And it's amazing what it came up with, right? I mean, it's just the idea thought behind it.
It's incredible. It's incredible, and not only use it myself for prompts like Jurgen, but my entire schedule is driven by AI. My daily calendar, I utilize a tool called Motion, and within Motion, I house my projects, my individual tasks, my meetings. It integrates directly with my Google Calendar, and utilizing AI, and when I put an event in there, I give it a certain urgency. Based on the urgency factor, the time, whether I allow it to break up my project into blocks of work, it organizes my entire day and my entire week, and if I miss something or go over in a meeting, it will proactively restructure and alert me if I'm getting to a point where one of my projects is at risk of being overdue.
So it's like your personal assistant?
I have a personal assistant, yep.
Walking around with you. Next one, big one, I think for all of us, is cost reduction. Everybody knows things are expensive nowadays. Next time you go shopping to Publix, I think you'll realize how expensive things are. So I certainly do. And anybody wants to reduce costs in a business, and AI, again, can do that for you. Initially, there's an investment, but for example, I use a lot of tools that are free to use. There's no cost to them. But also, if you pay like extra $25 a month for like ChatGPT, you actually have a tool that's really useful. And then the next step is, if you're actually running a company that can utilize something like an AI-driven software, like an HR program with AI integration, like SilverLogic, that's the way to go. Because down the road, that will actually save your company a lot of money, a lot of investment.
Yeah, cost reduction is usually the starting point for most of our interactions. Right? I mentioned at the beginning, like businesses have been structured the same way for a very, very long time, and unfortunately, as you grow from a small organization to a large organization and your processes get more complex, usually the default is, let me throw more people at this to scale it larger. And AI is at a point now, from a capability standpoint and an integration standpoint, that putting systems in place allows you, again, to remove that, let me throw more bodies at this, into let me automate the things that are mundane, allow me to have better data visualization for strategic decision making, and maximize what I'm asking my employees to do on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely correct. You can tell he has a lot of experience in this field.
Got it right, guys.
Oh yeah. So next one, improved marketing strategies. AI can analyze your market trends, and your CIM, your customer relationship management. In English, what it means is that it can generate more income for you because it understands your situation better than you, so many times, and it has an overview of everything that's going on in your business. So let's say you're running a beauty salon or a hair salon or something like this. It knows, okay, this is the kind of trend that's going on now. Everybody wants a bob cut, and everybody wants red hair or blue hair or whatever. It knows how to pick these things out, and then you can decide what you're going to do in the advertising. You say, okay, I'm going to advertise more for this. And it analyzes things much better than we can.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the ways to think about AI is to have an incredibly intelligent and eager, graduate student as your assistant. It's willing to put in all the time and effort and work to make something much more easier for you. It just needs very, very specific instructions. Hence what Jurgen was saying, which is if you feed it customer-related data, if you feed it buying trends, it very, very quickly is able to ingest that and spit out recommendations where it may take an entire team of human data analysts to arrive at the same conclusion a week later.
You just imagine, you have that power in your phone, in your pocket, to use every day on the road. That's the amazing part. You can't take your marketing team, strategic team in your pocket. You don't have that.
Yeah.
Enhanced cybersecurity. That's a big thing for my part. Like my business, we do a lot of cybersecurity around town and around America, even some in Europe. And AI also has a big impact on that because, yes, AI can be used for bad, as we all know, in using attacks, tapping our emails, calling us up on the phone, and cybersecurity threats in general. But then also we have AI on our side that can prevent these threats. So you always have to think about it as two fists hitting each other, which one is going to hit harder and kick that guy out of there. So in my business, in using cybersecurity, AI has also become very prevalent. And to learn strategies and how people attack your networks. And don't think, I hear this quite often, that people think that, okay, I'm running like a one-man show, or I have a 5-employee network business, and I don't have to worry about cybersecurity. Yes, you do. It doesn't matter what you are. If you're online, you are a target to somebody out there. Somebody wants to try to get you. I hate to say that, but that's how the truth, or what's really true.
I cannot reiterate more strongly what Jurgen is saying. There was an irrigation company right here in you guys' backyard, who shall remain nameless, but they were a small organization. They had about 4 employees. The owner joked that his computer was older than I was, and he was almost right. And there was what we call a doppelganger website spun up, which means they took his exact website domain and added an S to the very end, copied it as closely as they could, and utilized that as a foundation to attack his client base. You need to have proactive strategies in place, and unfortunately, the simple truth of where we are at from a threats and risks in today's world is that you are going up against people who are actively utilizing AI, unfortunately, for nefarious purposes.
Right.
It is extremely important, especially if you are protecting a business, that you have a firm who is actively utilizing systems and advanced threat detection and response powered by AI. Incredibly important.
Very important. And this also goes to residential consumers. Like, I think most of them here are actually consumers. So that if you need to protect your computer at home, it's the same way. But also, remember, AI can, copy somebody's voice, or you can have a deep fake or something like that. So be ready for that in the future. That you can, if somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm your grandson and I'm stuck on the side of the road, I need $1,000. You might want to think about that twice, because that could have been a copied voice somehow. So this is something that's becoming more prevalent. You have to be careful with that. And we're trying to prevent these things.
It takes it is now less than 3 minutes of voice learning for an AI model to almost perfectly, but definitely passively over a phone connection, mimic someone's voice. And how many people have children or grandchildren who are posting much more than 3 minutes of video online right now? Right? It is in every hand in the building. So this is an absolute thing that individuals need to be aware of, and those constants of what is and is not real exist, and it is, if something is overly urgent, if something is oddly specific, if something is just very out of character, always pause and ask yourself, is this someone acting through an AI agent?
Yes, exactly. So product and service innovation allows the AI to produce new products and services. So learn from your business actually. It can give you an idea. Say, okay, you have all these products and all these services. What else can I offer? And it will come up with something. Many times it does. And that's quite amazing. We just had a discussion about what we offer in our business, and it came up with some ideas that I didn't even think about. So think about that. It's great.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, right? Whether you're trying to research and development for an organization, for golf outing, for whatever use case you have, it is incredibly good at suggesting and planning. Our entire event strategy, first draft, for when we go to events or sponsor events, how we follow up, every step of the way, the pre-planning, the post-planning, that first draft was entirely generated for us by AI, and then we use that as our foundation to innovate on and adjust creatively.
Next one, supply chain optimization. Just imagine where you get your parts from. Like we are getting parts in every day to build our computers, to do our service. And nowadays you're getting things shipped to your house like every day. I mean, who's using Amazon here? Everybody, right? We're all hooked on Amazon, no matter like this we all drank the Kool-Aid here. So yeah. So Amazon, for example, in that sense, is so advanced in the AI systems they can now predict where the product's going to be sold that they've never seen before. So they can predict, okay, this product comes from our warehouse, we're going to put it in this location because we think, or AI thinks, that the people around this warehouse closest to us for the one-day delivery are going to buy it. And that's powerful. Like, if you already know what your customer wants before you even see it, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's all sorts of incredible examples of this. I mean, everywhere from massive retail stores using systems that can detect when inventory levels drop to a certain point and it proactively places orders for distribution's sake, all the way to how many people have seen the pilot Amazon stores where there is no checkout. You walk in and you grab